Now that you have Claude Code and VS Code installed and ready to go, congratulations, you're 50% of the way there. As a reminder, the whole ethos of the AI on a Shoestring series is to help non-techies tap into some of the more advanced capabilities of some of those tools and build AI workflows or agents that solve personal and professional day-to-day problems. And we're going to do that by running semi-live demos of particular problems that I am going through or things that I need, but I think are generic or general enough that might apply for other people's specific contexts. I'm going to run through the 4 building blocks of AI workflows. So LLM and the environment, which is Claude Code and VS Code. So that's done. Context and knowledge base, the tools, and then the instructions. We're going to run through maybe a 4 or 5 step process to build out these 4 components. And then we're going to try and kind of standardize a set of instructions and a set of inputs so that next time we don't have to spend this amount of time building an agent, and you can go from input to output with very minimal modifications fairly quickly. So that's what we're going to do today. Excited to run you through it. Step 1 of building an AI workflow is kind of identifying what task to actually automate or create a workflow around, right? And I think this is where maybe a lot of people struggle. They don't know which tasks are better suited to build workflows around. But essentially, a good rule of thumb is tasks that are quite repetitive, tasks that are quite research or search heavy, or tasks that are quite maybe tool dependent or require a connection of multiple tools, and then tasks that are quite instruction reliant, right? So that means tasks that rely on a specific methodology or process to be able to perform and or have a very specific definition of good for the output, right? It's easy to define what good looks like for these output. So that's step number 1, is figuring out what those tasks are. You can map out your day-to-day personal and professional tasks and then try and see which tasks fit those 4 buckets. This is a very kind of rough and high-level categorization. Obviously, people can automate and create workflows almost any task, but this is sort of a good rule of thumb to follow initially. In this particular case, I have already picked a task. There's a real problem that I need to solve. I am deeply engaged with this nonprofit in Kenya that is building the ecosystem, the entrepreneurial ecosystem around disability inclusion in the continent. We have raised a small pilot fund to invest in a few startups in the disability inclusion space. We call these assistive tech startups. So these are startups that are building products and services for people with disabilities. And the goal is to use this pilot to hopefully build a full-fledged fund within the next few years. A big sort of pillar of what we're trying to do in the pilot is to build partnerships across obviously the region and internationally to be able to build the full-fledged fund and offer the type of support that we want to offer for the entrepreneurs in the space. And to do so, we really need to have strong and tight communication, right, to be able to build those partnerships. So what I want to do today is to create a brand consistent informational document about the fund so that we can send to the different people and organizations that we want to collaborate with. I have an assortment of different pieces of input from different correspondences and communications, and I want to put them into one source and then create a visually pleasing, brand consistent output, right? And this output in this particular case is going to be a PDF, but we're then going to look at how we can change it to other types of outputs as well. And again, like if we want to do this effectively, we need to communicate beyond just sending documents via email. We need to have a very strong online presence, both on the website front and on social media. So then I can think of how I can transform this one kind of source asset into multiple different formats, and obviously with the help of Claude Code and VS Code. But yeah, for today, this is going to be the task, and then we're going to go through different steps of building out an agent for it. I think it's really easy to define what good looks like. In this instance, we would like something that is easy to skim and read through, has very clear text, has a clear message in each of the pages. It needs to be quite consistent in terms of brand guidelines, include our brand assets and photos. Again, fairly simple and straightforward.